100 yard dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to South Florida at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Tonight we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from Miami. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Niners take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Here we go. Black 80! Come get one, Omaha. I got this.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, and he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Well, Raheem Mostert, he was great in that NFC title game, 220 yards. But Super Bowl, 58 yards on 12 carries, though he did score the touchdown in the third quarter to put the Niners up 20-10.
And think about the journey of Raheem Mostert and what he's traveled, that he has a 220-yard game, 4 touchdowns in the NFC title game that you just mentioned. But only getting 12 carries in the Super Bowl, I don't think in his wildest dreams he would have thought, I only got 12 carries in a Super Bowl? That tells you how valuable he became and what people will focus on. And don't forget Tevin Coleman, the great comeback from the dislocated shoulder against Green Bay in the title game. 5 carries, 28 yards in the Super Bowl. Came back to start that game. Showed a great amount of toughness. But they didn't run it nearly as much as we expected. And they ended up with the result that maybe was unexpected too. A loss in the Super Bowl.
He's crashing. He's checking out.
Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got a first down and inside the midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Nice catch right there. It brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
You used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Mostert. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
Here we go. Kill, kill, kill. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. 21. Hey, gun. 55, Mike. Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. It'll continue to be interesting in these wet conditions how these kickers fare, but first test, passed.
And how about how the special teams unit handled that? A lot of concentration to make sure the ball didn't slip through his fingers. After the snap, got it down and let him pop it through the posts.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They run again on 1st down. Cook stripped. The ball's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. Past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They're going to get 9 here on 1st down as he gets this one up to the 34-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. March 54.
They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
65. I got you. 15, check 15. 25.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Garoppolo looks to throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Cousins on 1st down. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. 20. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Gold to add the extra point. And oh, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
54. Check.
From the 44, Cousins. And he slings one that's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 24-yard line. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. On 2nd and 7, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Get him.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. It's complete. Abdullah. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 15-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here we go.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Got the connection here to Bourne. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Gun. Motion. Check.
Play action. Garoppolo. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Right there, 56. Pick me up. Here we go.
Following the interception, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
When a Both teams turned it over 3 times in the first half. We just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to wind up and air it out. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading.
And how about this, a fake? Oh, but this is going to backfire as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s. So a little bit lower scoring than we expected. But a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. And he whips that one incomplete there. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. And it's 3rd and 5.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. He's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. First down. Here's Cousins. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Check, 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 check. Mike spot 4, Mike.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kwan Williams. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. An ideal beginning of the drive there is they'll get 20 and a first down. Cousins now to throw on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP. Coach of the Year, John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year, Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill, no surprise there.
Not to mention the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, the credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because that represents the totality of a player in the NFL, not just what they do on the field, but off the field as well. And that goes to Calais Campbell, the defensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a great award. Congratulations, Calais.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now a play fake here on first down. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. Cousins now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. $25 yards for the touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. This time the extra point up and good, and that will shave one more off this lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now Mostert. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Got his target, Samuel. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. A gain of 3, second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
11. 13.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. At his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Here's Mostert. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got this.
To throw is Garoppolo. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, gun. Hey, switch gears. Out.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. This is Mostert. A good display of footwork. It gets him just inside the 5 to the 4. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now Garoppolo will lead his guys up to go for the 2-point try.
Watch the eye.
Garoppolo rolling to his right. He'll run it, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Come on, QB, come on.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over.
Here we go.
But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Here we go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
I got you.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He'll let this go for the end zone. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. On second down, Cook. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Cousins. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Cousins on 4th down. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Here's Cousins. Johnson's got it complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
56 to Mike. Hey, Echo.
They'll throw again. Cousins. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's 3rd down. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Extra point try by Bailey. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And again this time to the tailback. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
21.
Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. And now Garoppolo lost the football. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Here we go. Like 20. Switch. 11. 31. Check 31.
To throw is Garoppolo. Got him in. He finds Sanders. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
Here we go. Clock. Hey, gun. Check. Crunch.
Now Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And he'll give it here to his running back. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there.